Hey guys, and welcome to this linesmith tutorial on how to mount lines to your F1 bar. We're gonna mount lines now to this F1 bar, and we're gonna mount the 2025 setup or the 2026 setup with the medium V, the high V, and the high V plus layout. So let's get started. I have three packages. I have the line system. This is the lower section, which is going to be in the front lines at the bottom. Then we will have two more packets, which are going to be the upper lines and also the steering lines. So these blue lines are rear lines, and those two will be your front lines. And let's get started. That's the way we're gonna do it. You will also have some parts which already come from the bar, and this is the ring, the safety ring where your leash is connected. Then we will have this plastic bit where your leash also is connected, which will hold this. Then you will have this really small piece of line, which is sitting in between here, inside here. So when you take off your old lines, disconnect this small bit because you're gonna need it. If you don't have it, we can also supply it. Okay, so now today I will use this high V distributor because it has a lot less friction on the line, and I prefer this one. This is the one from Harlem, but you can use any. Also the duotone will work, or the one from the linesmith. Okay, so let's get started. This is the safety line, of course, which is running inside of this PU tube. You also need that one. Okay, now we're gonna get going with the lower package, which is the lower section. This one will have multiple sleeving on the line, and let me unroll it and then I can show you guys. So you have the red sleeving on the lines here, and one line has blue and also gray and red. This is the fixed line, and then the one with only one red is your safety line. So make sure to mount it correctly because it's very important for your safety to function properly. Okay, also you need to know that the red sleeve needs to sit far away from the bar, so it's the upper one, and well, then you are working correctly. So I'm just unrolling the lines now, and I've already noticed that the red sleeve is here, so almost at the end. So this is the end of the line. So this is gonna be away from the bar. Now I'm gonna take the line which has the three sleeving. So this has the red on the top, then the gray, and then when we move down, we're gonna see the blue one, and right here, and then we're gonna go move down a little bit further, and we are going to see the loop. Okay, so this is the fixed line, and that one will be held with this small piece. So we're gonna work with those two things, and of course where it should be connected. So it's super simple. You're gonna feed that in from the top, and we're just gonna make it flat, push it in from the top. Nothing special has to be done to make this work. Okay, so that's in. Then we're gonna flatten that loop. So it's just inside one of these holes, nothing special. And we're gonna take this small bit. You see there's a small opening, and you're gonna feed that over. So the gray is going over the black. I see it's not really in focus, so let me try to get it in focus for you guys. So you're gonna feed that over the line. Then it's like this. And then we are gonna go and open the black loop a little bit and then feed that in. So you're gonna fold it over like that and pull down. That's it for this line. It's super simple. So your fixed line is done. Then you're just gonna pull up and you're done with this, the first line. Now we're gonna take the other one. All right, so now I have the other line, and I'm gonna fold that one as well, feed it in from the top. Make sure that this sleeving is far away from the bar. Don't do it upside down, and make absolutely 1000% sure that this is your safety line, because otherwise your safety line will only go for 3 meters instead of the full length which it has to go to activate your safety. Okay, so then we have this one we're gonna feed that in to this PU tube. There's a hole here at the end. We're gonna feed the line in. Nothing special, we just need a bit of line, and we're gonna go all the way until it reaches the end, comes out of the quick release. To make it super simple, there we go, it's out of the bottom of the quick release. And now we're gonna work with this loop here. Let me focus on that. I will move the bar a little bit to the side so it actually stays in focus for you guys. And we're gonna take the safety line. There's a big loop and a small one. So let's see, the small one is right there. Okay, we're gonna connect that one first. So that's super simple. Again, over the black. And then we take the other end. And maybe you've kept your safety line in one piece, but I'm just filming this because everybody needs to know all the steps. So this one is done. Just pull down, loop to loop connection. You're done with that one. Now we're gonna mount the other two parts, which are the plastic bit and this metal ring. So it has a bend, as you can see. The bend needs to go down, so we're gonna go in from the top. Then put that aside. And then with this one, we're gonna go in from the top. So we're gonna go into the middle hole, which is right here, the round one. We're gonna feed the line in. Maybe I will go a little bit out of the screen, and there we go. And then we're gonna fold it back up into this side thing. Okay, so that's fairly simple. Now the first step is to get it in and then pull it to the side. I will use some small tools to do that. You can use some wire, some dental floss. There are multiple options to get this line in. Some old kite line will work as well, and otherwise it's just a bit of a hassle because there's not much space. So just make it easy for yourself. You know, fixing lines is always about making it as easy as possible. You can even use a stick like a true warrior. Okay, there we are. So that is in. Let's focus on it, and you can see it folds like a U. Now it's very simple. The thing we need to do is to get this loop around here. So we will open the loop, very simple, open the loop and then fold it around, and that's it. And then you pull down, and the harder it pulls, the tighter it will be, and that's it. So you will see here the ring is on here, and then you will go all the way to the top here, pull everything in. As you can see, everything is back where it should be, and we are going to go up to the middle lines. I'm gonna put the bar aside for now, and I'm gonna show you about the sleeving. So let me get the lines. So I just got the lines. I'm just moving away from the bar, still. Okay, this is the first one. This is the blue sleeving, as you can see here. And that is the 3.2 meter mark. Now, if I would fix this high-V distributor on there, which I can do, of course, is then you can put the fixed area on here, like that, and the other one here, or you can flip it actually, and that is also an option if you prefer to have it pulled down. I don't like it like that because then it will stop on here. So my recommendation, absolutely 100%, is the free line should be in the eye and the fixed line should be here. Okay, so this one will go in first. So this is the safety line. The free running line is in first, and then we will use the marking on the line to fix this thing, and then I'm gonna screw that on. So for safety reasons, when you're using the lower one, always use this line as the free line. Now we're gonna go even higher up to the line. It's gonna be pretty much the same. I just opened up the loop a little bit. Let's see. Now we can go to the next one, which is gray. Same thing again. only fixate it on the gray, and then the free line can move here. And on this one, then you have red and red. There you can actually choose to either fix it on this one or fix it on the other. Now I know this guy loves to ride his F1 bar with a duotone kite, so I will put it on the perfect position for him at 5.7 meters, and that is in here. We're just gonna screw this thing here. That's it, and we're gonna have that. Now there will be a lot of friction here and a lot of vibration to this area. Now we have something called glide stick, and you can get that as well with your lines. If you have it already, open that up and put some wax on that area. Just by folding it down, put some line wax. And this will prevent a lot of damage to this area. So you can see I'm just pushing that in with my fingers because my fingers are warm. And then this wax is on here. Let's see if we can see the difference. Actually, I think we could. So you can see that this one is waxed and this one is not. So you don't need to wax this one, of course, because this thing is fixed on here, but it will prevent a lot of abrasion because the line is sliding and moving up and down into that ring. Okay, so that was done. That was a quick tip. So that's the glide stick from the linesmith. Now we will connect the upper lines, which will be a new packet. I will just put this here for a little bit, and we're gonna open up the next package, which will be the upper front lines. I'm gonna unroll them now, and I will get back to you in a little bit. All right, so I've unrolled the lines, and then you have two equal lines, nothing special, both gray, both with a loop on both sides. So that's your upper front lines, and we will connect it to the black lines, the black lowers. It really doesn't matter which side is which side. So what you will do is a loop-to-loop connection. We're gonna go over with the gray, and then in, feed the rest in. So it's the same line. I have the lines in my hand. Let me take that out for a little bit. Okay, so you have the line over, and then you're gonna feed it in, and you're just gonna pull the entire line through itself to make that loop-to-loop connection. Super simple, and we will do this with both sides of the lines. So let me just do the one first, and then I will do the other one to not make a big mess here. Okay, so that is done. And then you have this loop-to-loop connection. Just pull, and that is actually it for your front line. Now we do the same with the other one. Super simple. Again, we're gonna go, let's get it in focus. There we go, black line. Then we're gonna go over, and then we're gonna take the other line, push it in, and pull everything through. You can also take the other end of the line if you're outdoors. Of course, you're smart and you're working outdoors. Then you can just take the other end of the line and put that into the hole, and it will work as well. So that is done. So you're done with your front lines, and everything is set on your front lines. All you need to do now is connect some pigtails to the end, also loop-to-loop connection. But first, we need to do the next package, which will be the steering lines. Let me unroll this and get back to you again. All right, the first thing we need is to be at the bar. There we go, the bar's back. Okay, so you already see it in my hand. We have a sleeve side, and this is your bar side. So we're gonna connect this sleeve to the bar leader line. So this is your leader line coming out of the bar already. Then we're gonna take this sleeve, and not the other one. The other one, the unsleeved one, should be at the kite side. You can flip it in later on when you need to extend the line life, but we do highly recommend the sleeve side on the bar side. So we're gonna do exactly the same as you did before. You're gonna go over the orange in this case, and then feed the line in. Super simple. You've done this already a couple times now, so you already know. You can also take the other end of the line and get it through. And of course, you're working outdoors. Otherwise you're gonna get a big line mess if you do it indoors, which I am of course getting. Okay, so almost there, almost at the end. Then when you're done, you're gonna have the other end, which is going to go on the kite side. We are going to connect some pigtails to this, and then you are done. So also check out the video about pigtails if you don't know how to mount them, but it's super simple. You just use the same knot or the same loop-to-loop connection as you are doing here. On the older versions, we are going to give pigtail set number 5, and if you have another newer model, you're gonna need pigtail set number 9. Or if you use a duotone bar or a duotone kite on this bar, as this rider is doing, we're gonna just put some nice pigtails for him, which are pigtail set number 1 for duotone. Okay, anyway, so you have a lot of options to make this bar function on this on multiple kites. Okay, so we're gonna do the same. This is also the same for your pigtails at the end. You're just gonna go over with one side and feed it in to the other side. And that is actually it. So it's not super special on the F1 bar on how to mount some lines to it. Just gonna feed everything through. There we go. That is done. Loop to loop connection. All done. Now, when you are ready with mounting your lines, you can check also with this bar if it's correctly set. So connect everything to a solid object. Put the bar full power on here. Pull the bar down, and it needs to sit up to here when it's full power. So connect everything to a solid object. Put it full power. Pull the bar down, and then it needs to be perfectly set. The lines are not allowed to hang. They are allowed to be here a little bit or have like 1 centimeter of a little bit of slack, but on the rear lines. Now, you can also adjust here by pulling this thing out. Generally, it's a little bit of work, but you can adjust here quite well on those bars. So actually you are done now with mounting lines to your F1 bar, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you need more videos, go to the Linesmith and also follow our projects and get your Linesmith lines, of course. You enjoy your sessions.